The walls quite.
Alright guys, now that we have this update live, we'll show you
Reputation precedes you, friend.
what you can expect to see from the Hilt Trader. Look at that. Weekly you can buy 8 purification shards. The limited time section is throwing them on just like they do normal gems. Another thing that I find really interesting throughout your event with the new Battle Pass is the fact if you come down to events, they have this new shady stock that the moment you log in, do a dungeon, identify a piece of equipment, you go down to the rare antiquities dude, and he will have legendaries you can buy for 100 crests. So we come over here. We go, yep, we want to check the shady market. So, one character purchase after you've already bought 3. So you come here, there's 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. We'll come, we'll buy a legendary weapon. Now we bought 2. This is now permanently grayed out. There's 4 more I can still get for this weekly event. On top of that, we still have our towers. So every time you log in, you can just come here, click for some free XP. Looks like we're getting challenged today. Come over here, get some free XP, and still work towards your chests. Seeing with the new curse system, we did get a slightly better weapon where we originally had atrophy on there, and ancestral property made its debut back and superseded, not by much, double undead, but this is primary attack and crit chance versus damage to undead. So for PvP did end up going with that, but if we were to switch this over, you look at the atrophy right now, negative effects, primary attack damage reduced by 3%, continual damage reduced by 2.5, dash skill cooldowns increased by 3%. All 3 of these really bad. And when this one were to get active, damage dealt is reduced by 4% for 1 second after defeating an enemy. Very, very bad for barbs.
Hey there. It's good to see
The other issue I'm starting to have is when it comes to re-rolling gear, you got 8 purification stones. So we roll them, and this is just because we've been able to buy them since the update. But there's so many different properties that if you want to get the piece that you want to get, like, still not getting what we need. We're down to 2. Are we gonna get it? We got a 2-piece nettled. There we go. Took 7 tries to get it, and now
Goodbye.
that we have nettle back on our gear, let's see what it changed. Dash cooldowns increased by 3%. Damage dealt. So there's our 2-piece nettled. And our 2-piece atrophy. Primary attack. And continual damage. Pretty crazy for a barb, right? But for the purpose of PvP, we equip this one. It now negates our atrophy, so we're not having the double negative debuff. And now we are using, unfortunately, damage dealt reduced after killing somebody. And dash skill cooldowns didn't really affect it. So that one's not too bad. Probably felt a lot worse on Monk. But I know that damage reduction, having that activated really does suck. My biggest problem with, I think it should be sold at the vendor. We should be able to come down here, just like we do Reforged Stones, and be able to buy the amount of purification stones. It should just be a flat platinum price. Let us buy them. There's so many cursed gear that drop, like surprise today got 3 pieces that weren't cursed gear, but I really feel like you should give more opportunity. You have hilts, let us use platinum, let it get it from our dailies, let us have it from multiple sources just to help, because we're going to constantly, you get an upgrade. Like that's what happened to me, was I originally had 6 pieces, or I had 5 pieces. I didn't get an opportunity to roll a 6 piece on pants. I was using them and it was really nice to have 5 pieces, but then I had to take it off because it was destroying my damage. But the fact that I couldn't roll everything that I wanted, I was a 3 and 2. I didn't have enough to even try 6 piece of one class because you don't have enough shards. So my issue is having shards in the game, especially with cursed gear supposed to being the top tier thing. We should definitely have more access to it. People about what they think. So something else that's starting to become an issue. It had been a while since we had been Immortals. We hadn't done the updates, the queues, all this. One thing since the res update where they could see how big your party was, one thing we noticed was we had to keep our resonance level, overall resonance for the team, anywhere from 17k and below. And that's total res for the team. So if you got one true whale at over 7k, we had to find people. Typically what our matchup has been is one mega whale at 7k, a normal whale at 5k, maybe high 4/8 if you can't get one, and then 1 to 2k other players, keeping it anywhere from 12,000 res to 17,000 res, just so you can consistently get a queue. Because without this, you aren't getting, you're just stuck running around permanently farming for that hour. Occasionally you'll get 1 to 4 vaults. If you went 4 whales on a team to defend everything, that you're literally just having to spread out everything. And the same thing's on the shadow side. If you took a full whale team, 99% of the time we were shadows. We did not have a vault team that ever came in. They would not come in till somebody zoned out, or even 2 people zoned out. Then we'd fight 2v4, 1v4, very rarely 3v4 as a shadow. But 99% of the time we never got a 4v4 match ever since you've been able to see who's in the vault if they're higher res. So on both sides of the fence, it's very bad, very terrible. This whole system needs to get re-looked at. It was bad enough that you can't really have campers in the vault. Now consistently is all we're having right now is people just leaving the vault early. And truly, I think what should happen with shadows, if they're getting gear they should be required to keep, win or lose, they should be able to be forced to go through all 4 floors of the vault. They cannot pillage and just leave with an item and get rewards. I felt like that on Shadows because I always wanted to justify there being a fight, and we would usually never get one. That constantly seeing people, this is our 3rd week, we're about to just hit Showdown, Rite of Exile this weekend. So it's very annoying, I can say, from both sides, where you constantly run with the group and they're like, all right, we're leaving on 3, and you're like, fuck that, I'm going to 4, and you solo fight the Immortals. Or you just get a whole team, and you'll see it in Shadow Chat all the time, looking for a group, doesn't matter what level, leaving on floor 3, and people just do it. And then you just see Shadow Left Vault, Shadow Left Vault, Shadow Left Vault, and you constantly see it in the chat. And on the Immortal side, you just get stuck in this endless queue that never moves, and you're forever stuck in this positioning in a 4-man team. Now, obviously, it's way too early to do vaults, but I do have some vault footage where it would basically be pointless to show, because it's either us getting completely most of our time wasted, where we run in, there's 1 to 2 people in a vault, to people still at almost the year mark are not wearing Gladiator in vault. I don't understand it. It's a PvP event. Wear fucking Gladiator. Both sides of the fence. If you're Immortal or if you're a Shadow, you go into a vault. Wear fucking Gladiator for that cheat death. Why would you not use this? Why anybody running in vault, if you refuse to wear this, you just shouldn't do vault at all. That's just my humble opinion. It's a PvP event. Stop treating it like PvE. When I go in, anybody goes in, we just dive and you instantly explode. I find it hilarious every time that we are 11 months into the game. We're on our 12th season of the Battle Pass, because we're about to hit our year mark. Why haven't you figured out how to put Gladiator on? Why do you refuse to even... I've seen people that don't even tier into it because they just specifically play PvE. Like, come on. If you're gonna do the event, wear your proper PPE. PvP me, don't PvE me. So one thing to keep in mind that's still really nice is if you don't get your bestiary or your dungeons done, it does stack up to 3 days, so you can do 9 dungeons. You got your 24 bounties. You have your up to 3 bestiary pages that you can stack. So you can go 3 days without fully doing dailies. As the Immortal, you really can't. But if you're trying to save up, like let's say you class change and you want to give it a couple of days so you can knock out everything at once, it's really nice to be able to come turn this in. Right now I've just been doing 8 and 8. I did miss the bestiary turn in yesterday, but it's no big deal. Now that I'm off of 12s, be able to knock that out really quickly. But that guaranteed legendary drop item's really nice. So we got 2 just from the bounty, 3 right there, and then from doing our dungeons. My alt for any of you guys that are coming back to the game and are just curious about some of the catch-up mechanics that are coming. One thing that you will see under your events tab is the return and reforge rearm. Every time you log in, There'll be a daily login for these coins or blacksmithing material. And then every 12 minutes or so, you'll be able to click claim, do bounties, do dungeons, do elder rifts, and it's to get you set pieces as you're leveling. On top of that, if you're under the server Paragon, which is currently 636, you'll have that increased XP rewards for 800%. Now, I gotta say, the biggest catch-up mechanic I've had an issue with when I do come and play with this guy is usually gold. Usually have plenty of materials for upgrading my items on the left or on the right side, but I always end up running out of gold. If I was actively playing this account, I may have a little more gold in there, but to showcase, here is what I was talking about earlier, where you can stack up to 3 days worth of dungeons. You can come all the way down to your bestiaries, and you'll have up to 3 stack of your mystery legendary items as well. And then your bounties stack to 24. And on top of that, this is a complete free-to-play account, so I wouldn't click the unlock and I wouldn't be paying for this event. So I would not be getting the Battle Archive coins, but I do recommend, if you have your account, you're playing, this is your main account, spending the $15. I've always done it. I'm a sucker for cosmetics, but the fact that now you can accumulate Battle Archive coins and they do not expire, it's definitely well worth it. So once you get into that market, you can actually click and gain access to the archive shop and be able to still indeed buy what you need to buy. So the other thing to keep in mind here is at level 1, level 10, 20, and every subsequent 30 all the way to 40. So you'll get 500 of these Battle Archive coins. Now you can go to this battle shop. You can choose to spend. So another way for free to play, I really enjoy, even if you're a low spender, I've always recommended you just buying the battle pass. Now you have an opportunity to get an extra Vervant Fang, which is nice. After reaching rank 40, then you unlock a cosmetic. What I do wish we could see is there was actually a cooldown for the types of skins, or just giving us the chance to see what skin you want. Like, just everybody getting the below the armor sand skin. Obviously this isn't what I want. The fact you can get more keys, really nice. One that I would really like that I ended up screwing up on was the last month's battle pass. I got the weapons for Barb, and I ended up switching. Unfortunately, like, I wanted to try out Wizard. Barb is one of the things I've gotten a lot of skins on. If it's not Barb, it's Necro. And unfortunately, where is it at? Right here. I was really looking forward to having the skin. I did like that the Barb had a pipe sticking out of his mouth, and now all I have is the anchors. Don't get me wrong, I still love this skin. I love the way the wings look, but I really wanted the skin for the last battle pass, so that's what I'm going to be holding on to. You can obviously collect things
For something in particular?
from your battle pass. I'm going to be saving the points because that's one of the particular skins I'm after. And we've gotten all 3 of those. Now you can officially get a mystery set item as well. We'll come and we'll ID. So it looks like we got another arm piece. Damage to demons, skill cooldown. So, more junk to add to the fodder. But it's cool to see more green sets coming in and being able to craft and level up. Still on that upgrade train. I chose to upgrade to 27 just to do it. Now my big hindrance is once again gold and bulging dust.
I hope that can help.
But we will get on the grind, get that level up, get our sweet combat rating up. We're at 15,332 for now, and we'll see what happens. I do have to say, after doing some Battlegrounds for the first time since the update, because I've been working 12s, it definitely feels a lot more even on both sides. There'll be typically like 5 or 2 5Ks, a top tier 6K or 7K, and keeping it even because I am 70-50, so they are keeping that even. It does still seem, if you're the attacker, major handicap because of the time. Either they get the 65 kills on you, or you just end up timing out. And the 3 matches I did, one got to 65, the other 2 did lead to time out. So I think if you played attacker and you just got rid of the timer for that second phase, if there was no timer, you either got kills or they walked it in, it may be a better fight for attacking, because there's so many times you get it so close and you just end up running out of time. And it could have been a good match, or it could have been a complete washout. So far, it's too early to tell, but I did feel immediately when I got attacker, it didn't matter that we're similar residents, just like I've said in the past. If you guys are the same residents on both sides and you have defense, you're going to win every time. Unless your team's a complete idiot. If you have the same amount of res, pound for pound, punch for punch, you're always going to win defense. And that's just how it is being a defender versus being an attacker. Is usually you can't get it in unless you just happen to get one mistake made somewhere that get in, but 99% of the time you're just timing out, didn't have enough time to push the idol, and it is what it is. Alright, remember guys, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate it. Much love. Bye.